Hello, team owners of the USFL. This is Week 4 highlights in the Premier 20-team league. Fans alike, we'll start out with the Birmingham Stallions and the Pittsburgh Maulers. Henry Rido's Stallions started out 3-0 hot. Pittsburgh 0-3. Wondering what's going on with John Puhala out there in the Atlantic. Well, John Puhala's Pittsburgh Steelers did show up this weekend and helped him win 23-20 over the Birmingham Stallions. The Birmingham Stallions go to 3-1, and the Pittsburgh Maulers go to 1-3. The Bandits, the new owner of the Bandits, Terry Harness, former New York City Hitmen owner. New York City Hitmen did disintegrate into our archives. However, Terry has brought his good strategy there to the Bandits. They are 3-0-1. We did have some ties. I did discuss this. It does not show on the standings. However, I'm keeping record of that. So the Bandits did tie in Week 3, making them 3-0-1. One of our undefeated teams still left after Week 4. Beat Portland. Portland was 3-0. Jason Wise fell short this week, 30-19. Pretty good butt whipping Bandits over the Portland Breakers. Jason Wise will be doing our highlights and previews for, let me change that, previews and highlights for Week 5. We are going to do this thing a little different where it flows a little better. The person, the league member that is doing the previews for that week will do the highlights for that week. So Jason will be doing the previews for Week 5, maybe make some predictions, and then he'll follow up after all the games in Week 5 and do the highlights for Week 5. And subsequently, the next person, which will probably be me for Week 6, I'm not sure, I would do the previews and then follow up. So rather than having a production where we do both highlights and previews all at once, it'll be two separate productions. Same person will do it. Should flow better. Moving on, Mark Niemi, surprise this year, 0-2. I'm sorry, 0-2. And 1 going into this week against the Memphis Showboats. James Hayes' team, former champion last year. James Hayes, is 1-2. And in this battle, Mark Niemi comes out on top, 36-31, handing Memphis another loss. Memphis Showboats are 1-3, and at the bottom in the South, Mark Niemi is another one of those teams, the Panthers, that tied in Week 3. His record is 1-2-1, and surprise, he is on the bottom, minus the Gamblers in the Central right now. Both Memphis, James Hayes, and Mark Niemi, I assure you, will be climbing out of that cellar. They do have strong teams, so watch out for them. The Blitz and the Express this week. The Blitz win 24-21. Blitz sticking with Mayfield. It's been a painful journey, but they play the Gunslingers this week in Week 5. The Denver Gold, not Michael Rutt. He's starting out 3-1. Last year he only won 2 games. The Denver Gold, the previous owner the year before, was a catastrophe and won 1 game. So Michael, congratulations, wins over the Gunslingers 27-20. Jake's suffering with all of his keepers lost. He lost Luck in the beginning, and now both his running back and wide receiver are out right now. But he's winging it. He's 1-3, and he is not in last place in the Central, and only 1 game out, believe it or not. But congratulations, Michael Rutt. Denver goes 3-1. Gunslingers 1-3. Outlaws and Renegades had a really tough game. Big game from Godwin and Adams for the Outlaws. Kyle wins this one 33-26 over Michael Rodriguez's Renegades. And moving on, Invaders and the New York Generals. The New Jersey Generals. Invaders win. They are 3-1. New Jersey Generals 2-2. There's a 3-way tie in the Pacific at 3-1. New Jersey next week plays Miami. They're both 2-2, and in second place, tie for second place in the Atlantic Division. The Bulls are 3-1. The South looks to be the strongest division so far this year. It's really too early to tell, guys. You know, 4 games in, going on the 5th game, there is taking a little bit of shape. Divisional games do start at this time. Divisional games start heavy. I spent a lot of time on the schedule to make sure that the more important games are toward the end of the schedule. So you're done. You're warmed up now, and you've gotten to know your team, and things are taking form. It's time to get into those divisional battles. Looking forward to that this next week. So the Bulls do take down the Stars. Bulls are 3-1. Stars are 1-3. Our dog of the week was the Federals and the Wranglers. Not a lot of points scored, 20-16. Federals come out winning that one. They are 2-1-1, and are atop in the Atlantic by half a game right now to the 2-2 New Jersey Generals and Miami Spirit of Miami. And the Wranglers having a tough time. They're 1-2-1, still in it out there in the Pacific. Only a game and a half behind at this time right now. Kevin's definitely got to put it together. He sent me a message that he's got to get on it. So we'll see about that. And the final game was the Gamblers and Miami. Matthew tried to do something this week. Had a lot of injury bugs. Tried to put something together, but boy, his team only scored 19 points. Houston didn't do much better, but Scott Boucher and Paul Thompson take a win. They're 1-3. So that's it, guys. Looking at the standings going into week 5, looks like the Federals are top by a half game over the Generals and the Spirit of Miami. Oklahoma is on top, tied with the Blitz right now out in the Central Division, but it's anybody's game. Everybody needs to be on their P's and Q's. This is an important week, week 5, to stay in there. Portland, Oakland, and Denver all tied at 3-1, and then in the Southern Division, which is the tough division there, Birmingham 3-1, Jacksonville and the Bandits 3-0-1 and 3-1 respectively, and 2-2 comes in at 3-2 is Michael Rodriguez team. So, and Memphis tails that at 1-3. Thanks, guys. Have a great week. Jason Wise will be doing the highlights and previews for week 5.